He was steady for him on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Texans and the Steelers on EA Sports.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open and we've got football from... versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Bringing them out is the #1 overall pick this year, Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama, Bryce Young.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Young wasting no time, right to the air. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Take a look at the defense for these Texans. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
That throw by Young incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Micah Parsons, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Hardman to return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by an exciting athlete, 4th overall pick of the draft out of Florida, Anthony Richardson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
What's the ratio you say you're okay with?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Mike Pennell with the tackle. The Texans hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The end result, 21 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Off play action, Richardson. They'll roll him out right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there. No hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
Taylor will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Smith red, yellow, one, blue, check, pink.
Now Chubb running right. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 19 carries, 94 yards, and a score.
They put a lot of effort into game playing and establishing this ground game last week, and reward was a nice day rushing the ball. Helped them put a balanced offense out on the field. And that carry is an indicator that this ground game wants to be established again this week.
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Young. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Hardman on the return. Wiggles free. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And some space here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another big gain or 2 in succession as this one goes for 32.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Watson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns. Aubrey now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was all capped off by a touchdown catch from Christian Watson. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now here's Young. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw, Young. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 21-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And makes it across. guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Okay, ready?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Young. A short one there to Freiermuth. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Young to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Young. That throw right side here going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Texans will take over. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Now Richardson. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Richardson on the bootleg here. He'll buy some time right. Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to our... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brent. Set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter.
Ready?
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Personal foul. Unnecessary relevant.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Richardson off the play fake. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Josh Oliver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be taken at the 13. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Texans to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. play action. Now Richardson. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35.
A huge play there for Houston. 43 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
59 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time, and that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jonathan Taylor, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Texans open the lead up to 34-0. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. That throw by Young incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
It's taken to the 26.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now Richardson into the hands of Williams across the formation.
And he's got this down to the 35. They have certainly looked his way in this 3rd quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. 2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Texans are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
And the thing you have to love about Jonathan Taylor, he's a shifty speed guy most of the time when you hand him the football. But he's not coming off the field when you get down near the goal line because he's as tough and gritty as they come. And he finishes things off here by getting into the end zone.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it is 42-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Young. And this one too low.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Young. That is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Ready up.
The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Miles Murphy in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to forward on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Gibbs. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
Going for it on 4th, Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. It's down about the 21 or 22. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now a give to Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd down, another run with Taylor. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. That is caught. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Richardson. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, Both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be a